You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you might not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and Talkspace, the leading virtual therapy provider, is sharing the message that connection is crucial because good relationships are an essential and sometimes overlooked component of mental well-being. If your relationships could use some strengthening, a licensed therapist from Talkspace can help. Therapy can help you communicate better with loved ones, repair conflicts, and understand how to address loneliness and build community. It's easy to sign up. Just go to Talkspace.com and you'll be paired with a therapist within 2 days. You'll meet with your therapist online on your schedule. Plus, Talkspace is in-network with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. Make personal connections a priority and start today. If you're not covered by insurance, get $80 off your first month with Talkspace when you go to Talkspace.com and enter promo code SPACE80. That's SPACE80. To match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com and enter promo code SPACE80.
Edit audio.
I don't know, y'all. I have been grieving, and I think I have been kind of open about that for some time now. And when I say grieving, it's not just grieving like, the loss of people who are no longer on this planet, but also just grieving so much more like the world. It has been a lot for all of us. If anybody is paying attention to what's happening outside of our everyday lives, like there is just so much going on in the world, so much heaviness that's in the world, so much for us if we're human to grieve. Even though things aren't necessarily happening directly to me, I feel it. Not only grieving that, but as I sit back and I have become more dedicated to being honest with myself, I am grieving what I thought life would look like for me at this age. Life is in many ways better than I imagined. Like when I think about like 13-year-old Cass, you know what I mean? Like, wow, she is in a loving relationship. She has children who she loves. But outside of that, things look very different than what I imagined life would be. And I'm grieving that. For a long time, I just tried to suppress it. If I push it down, if I don't think about it, then it's not really happening. But that's not real. That's not the truth. And in order for us to create better futures and create better presents, you got to be honest. And yeah, I just have not been honest with myself about how I really feel about things. And I haven't given myself the space to truly grieve. Part of it is because, like life is moving fast, right? Like the systems that be, the powers that be, don't give us time or space to really grieve and to process the things that are happening in our countries, in our communities, in the world. And then even within us, we really have no time, but I don't help myself by keeping my calendar as full as I do. I really don't. And if I'm being really real, I probably do that as a coping mechanism or as a defense mechanism. Like if I'm really, really busy, then I don't have time to feel my feelings. And that's not healthy. That's not good. If you're new here, my name is Dr. Cassandra Dunbar. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Be Well Sis podcast. I always like to ask you guys, how has life been treating you? But more importantly, how have you been treating yourself? And the reason I ask that question is just to give you some space to be introspective. A lot of times we're just moving through life because there's so much that is required of us that we don't give ourselves space to think and feel about how things are actually going. So how are things going for you, sis? How are you treating yourself? Like, are you feeding yourself properly? Are you hydrating? Are you giving yourself allowing yourself to rest and to feel and to grieve and to have fun, pleasure, like all the things, like outside of the responsibilities that you have. Because I know we have them. I know you have them. How have you been taking care of yourself? If I'm honest with you, I have been doing a horrible job at taking care of myself. Last night, I was up late, like past midnight. I think it was almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I was on the phone and just scrolling, just scrolling. And I knew I should have done better. And I knew in the moment, like, girl, go to bed, like, ain't nothing in them phones for you. But I was just scrolling. So I could do better. But I'm a work in progress. So this episode, as you can tell, is just a solo episode. And this one is a little bit different because, yeah, I'm just telling you for real where I have been in my head outside of, the fluff. Where I've really been is I've been somebody who has been allowing myself to grieve. I think I shared with you a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago at this point, how I felt a little bit hopeless and it really scared me, feeling like this existential dread, like, why am I here? What is the point of it all? And what brought me back in a way was thinking about the conversation I had with Lisa Wolfert of Stitch Please, the Stitch Please podcast. She was a guest maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago at this point. And one of the things that really stuck with me from that conversation was she said that hope is a practice. And yeah, I have fallen out of practice of being hopeful. And one of the things that I realized is that in order to be hopeful, sometimes you just can't look around what you see immediately because you're not going to find hope there. It's important to be able to daydream, to have that imagination again. I think about the people who came before me, my ancestors, your ancestors, who saw things and imagined better and greater for themselves, for their children, not because of what they saw immediately in front of them, but they dreamed big. And through those dreams, we are living out so many of those dreams. And sometimes whenever I am in a funk and I find myself feeling bad for myself, there's this guilt that I also feel because I feel like, well, dang girl, like you are literally the manifestations of so many somebodies, like dreams and hard work and tears and effort. And I'm sitting here feeling bad for myself because I've had a couple of hard days or years, you know what I mean? While I'm grateful to them for all that they've done, I also need to look to the people who came before me as an example. I need to dream because of the pace of society and all that it demands of us. A lot of us don't know how to dream, or we have lost that imagination. My little one has the biggest imagination. Like he's so playful and he's just always playing around, even by himself. Sometimes I'll be driving, like taking them on the way to school or on the way back home. We're just, driving around together. My oldest will be in the passenger seat and I'll look in the rearview mirror and I see my little one. And there could be absolutely nothing happening in the car outside of like the music that's playing or whatever kids podcast that's playing. And I look in the back and this boy has the biggest smile on his face. And I ask him like, what's got you smiling? And he'll be like, oh, I'm thinking about A, B, C, and D. Like his inner world is so rich. And there is something to learn from him as well. Sometimes not his personality, but sometimes his playfulness and sometimes his imagination kind of slow things down, like, cause he's so wrapped up in what's happening inside of him that he don't care about what we got going on over here. So if I'm like, hustle, let's hurry up, he's taking his sweet time because what's happening inside his mind and his spirit is much more fun. And it's just such a beautiful reminder that we have to have that wonder in order to have hope. Because if I look at what's happening in my world, in our world, and if I am logical about things, I may not feel so hopeful. And it narrows our view. It's narrowed my view. You know, being a logical person, being a quote pragmatic person sometimes skews your view. You got to take a step back and really lean into that childlike wonder in order to see bigger and better and to be able to create a life that feels good. The older I'm getting, the more I'm realizing that we are all called to be creative spirits. We all are creative spirits. In order for us to have a life that feels good, in order to have a life that we feel is meaningful and purposeful, we can't just go by what we see. We have to create it. Sometimes from scratch, sometimes it's just from building on what somebody else had created. And in order to do so, sometimes you just have to live, if that makes sense. And I've felt that in my living, I have not been living. The hustle and bustle of life and responsibility has gotten in the way of me actually living, like Cass living. You know, like what does the little girl inside of me, like what makes her sing? What does the old woman inside of me, what would she have want me to do right now to, so that way when I arrive at the end of my life, I feel full and fulfilled. And if I sit back and I've taken inventory recently, it's like, girl, you are just putting one foot in front of the other. Life feels very monotonous. It's like, I feel like I'm on a hamster wheel of responsibility. I'm like drowning in responsibility. I'm drowning in what I have to do. And there's very little of what I want to do or what does my spirit, like, how does my spirit sing, you know? So, with that being said, I have decided to take a step back from some things. One of the things is this podcast, and I am going to spend some time imagining and daydreaming. And the way to do that is by simply living and maybe creating something that does not require any consumption. I spoke to somebody yesterday and they're a filmmaker as well as a poet and an actor. And they were saying that, you know, the art that they create is not for them. It's for the world. It doesn't belong to them. It's for the world. And they have a responsibility to put that art into the world and for it to exist. And while I love that sentiment so much, I've decided that I'm going to live and to create a little bit. And that creation will just be for me. And I'm not even sure what that creation will be. I have no idea what the plan is, but I do know that in order for me to live a life that feels really good, I need to slow the fuck down and sit down somewhere and to think and to breathe and to live without expectation and to give myself that opportunity because I haven't. So I hope I haven't rambled too much. It has been a really beautiful 6 years. I am really proud of the work that I've done to create this space from scratch. I'm really grateful to you all for seeing yourself here, for inviting others here too. I'm grateful to you for rocking with me and hanging with me and all of the good things. And I'm going to say adios for now. So absolutely for the summer, I'm going to take some time away and just have fun for real. And I might be back in the fall. I might not. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But in being honest with myself and honoring myself and honoring the person who likes to do, I'm a project kind of girl. I will always be I'll come back to rather. I'll be back at Substack very soon. I might pop in here and there with an episode or two. I do have something really exciting coming up actually in the middle of June. So I will be back with a bonus episode. I have a collaboration with the Voices of Impact. They are a nonprofit organization that helps filmmakers create their films, and their films largely focus on identity, mental health, and things of that nature. So there will be a bonus episode coming up in the middle of June. So be on the lookout for that. And of course, again, I will be on a Substack. I will be on Instagram. I'm not sure how active I'll be on Instagram, but I'll be there. If you send me a DM, I'll get it. We can chit chat there. This is a goodbye, ... It might be for now. It might be goodbye. But again, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful for this space and for the incredible women that I've had the opportunity to speak to. So if you have been a guest on the show, thank you, thank you. If you've been listening since day one, or if you just found the show recently, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful to you. But yes, until next time, be well, sis. Thank you for listening to this episode of Be Well, Sis. If you'd like to get in touch with us, there's a link in the show notes. Be Well, Sis is hosted by me, Dr. Cassandra Dunbar, and produced by Edit Audio. Don't forget to hit follow so you never miss an episode. Until next time, be well, sis.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.